Good day. Nice to see you again. I would like to talk with you today about unadulterated lunacy, about pride, about stupidity, plain, utter stupidity, about the strangeness of even allowing an idiot to be near a hand, near a loaded weapon, never mind getting his hands on it, and about the death of an army warrant officer from a combination of those attributes mentioned previously. An army sergeant was shot dead by a short-sighted soldier who thought he was aiming at a wooden target, a military inquiry has found. Gavin Hillier from the Welsh Guards was killed during a night exercise on an army rifle range in Pembrokeshire. The father of two died almost instantly after the soldier, identified only as Guardsman number 1, fired the fatal shot while not wearing his bloody glasses. A service inquiry report has revealed that the soldier's vision was so poor he was initially refused entry into the Welsh Guards and was only subsequently allowed to join after being issued with corrective lenses and reassessed. But now the lunacy begins. The report stated that because of the rules of medical confidentiality, army medics could not inform Guardsman number 1's chain of command that he needed to wear glasses. Instead, it pointed out, it was the Guardsman's responsibility to do so. So, all that responsibility was placed in the hands and the mind of a moron who couldn't even tell the truth that his eyesight was so bad he shouldn't even have been allowed to be within 50 feet of a bloody loaded weapon, never mind a loaded rifle. Sergeant Hillier, 35, a veteran of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, was killed by a sloppy lunatic and liar Sergeant Hillier was acting as a safety supervisor when he was killed in March last year. He had been wearing a high visibility fluorescent yellow jacket and a red glow stick strapped to the back of his helmet. He was also wearing body armour. But the report makes clear that the soldier who shot dead Sergeant Hillier, the moron who shot dead this long-standing, long-trained and valuable soldier, this soldier could not distinguish between him and a wooden training target. The Guardsman's eyesight, uncorrected eyesight, meant that to see the same level of detail as a normally sighted person, he would need to be 3 times closer if using both eyes, or 6 times closer using just the one eye. On the night of March the 4th, 2021, this moron, Guardsman number 1, the lunatic, the liar, and the fraud, was not wearing corrective lenses, and so his binocular vision would have seen Sergeant Hillier, who was 143 metres away, in the same level of detail as someone with normal vision would have seen him at 429 metres, said the report. With their right eye, the eye used to aim and fire the rifle, this would have increased to 858 metres. Guardsman number 1, the lying fraud, had been in the army for 18 months, but was relatively inexperienced in live firing attacks on a battle range. I'm not bloody surprised he was inexperienced. He shouldn't have been in the flaming army, never mind anything else. The report said that there were 14 factors that led to Sergeant Hillier's death and makes 20 recommendations to prevent a similar accident taking place again. The Health and Safety Executive is also carrying out an investigation. Now, got to be frank. There's only one factor that led to Sergeant Hillier's death. There's only one factor worth talking about. And that factor was allowing a moron, a liar and a fool to get into the bloody army in the first place. Now, I mean, I know a little bit about eyesight. I mean, apart from my own eyesight, that is. I about 2 years ago, my optician said that I was getting cataracts in both my eyes. They weren't too bad 2 years ago, but my optician said, you've got to be careful. You've got to keep being tested. But last August, I went for my eye test again. And the optician said, your left eye is getting bad and your right eye is following along behind. I knew something was off because I had forgotten to take my distance glasses with me when I took my sunglasses off in the supermarket, and everything was a blur. The optician, when I went back to the optician again for my second investigation, he did a full check, and then he said he was putting me forward for cataract surgery. Sent a report off to the GP, who forwarded the report to the NHS, and the NHS came back comparatively quickly with an operation date, a consultant date rather, for the operation. Unfortunately, the date was 48 weeks to wait, last August, September. So I panicked and I started to make outside inquiries, and I found that the Nuffield Hospital in Newcastle could see me, evaluate me, and if necessary, do the operations for £2,500 apiece. Now, £2,500 to a pensioner is quite a large sum of money, but I need my eyes. I need my eyes for driving, for living, for many things. So I said, fair enough, sign me up for the left eye, because that was the consultant's opinion, of which I had to go first. So I had that operation in very early December, and after waiting somewhere around about 3 to 4 weeks to make things settle down, I went back and got some new glasses, and the change was amazing. It was, with my left eye, I had almost perfect vision. And shortly afterwards, in about February, I got a letter from the NHS saying, giving me an appointment in, I think it was May. Could have been something, possibly. So I got the appointment, and I got the appointment with this consultant, and then I was measured up with these Phoenix type machines which measure the size and depth and whatever, and corrective capacity of the lens, which, I mean, I don't know how it works. I mean, you've got to be an optical engineer for that sort of thing. But anyway, I went to the operation, and the surgeon was fantastic. And I went for a second visit because they had to take a stitch out, a suture out of my eye, which was a little bit worrying to me. But the surgeon, no worries at all. She was great. And as I say, I came right. But the opticians made absolute plain to me that if I did not get the operation, I would not be able to do much at all, because I wouldn't be able to see. Now, I class myself as a fairly competent human being. And if somebody tells you that you can't do something because of your eyesight, you don't bloody do it. Just think of the pain which poured onto Warrant Officer Hillier's wife and children, because that lunatic, that liar, that fraud wouldn't tell his platoon mates, wouldn't tell his sergeant, wouldn't tell the bloody captain, wouldn't tell anybody that he had only got his position in the bloody army by promising to wear corrective lenses. I find this appalling, and I blame 80–90% of the blame for Warrant Officer Hillier's death should remain with the moron who fired that rifle. But 10% should remain with the medical idiots who wouldn't even tell the man's immediate officer that he had to wear glasses, because without his glasses he couldn't bloody see. My thanks for your visit, and I hope to see you again.